almost 20 episodes, and then they're gonna film the Christmas special, and then early next year, then maybe they'll film some. So they may have series 7 and series 8.
Yeah, you're right. They could be using. I mean, you're right. I mean, when Matt Smith films, we won't see it until 2014.
Unless it's early 2013 for the main anniversary.
And don't forget, too, if he is filming series 7 and 8, the reason behind spreading it is so that way we get to see more Matt Smith well beyond when he's going to make movies and everything. So I really think that I think the least amount of episodes they're going to have is 4. And that's only because that's the only 4 that we're ever going to see with Amy and Rory, because she's going to leave after that. So what they'll probably do is they'll probably have the 4 episodes with Amy and Rory. Then we'll have a Christmas special to break the ice with the Doctor and a brand new companion, because they can't really just jump into it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think that because Amy and Rory have been such a staple in Matt Smith's era, they have to ease off of it a little bit. They have to... they can't just jump into something. So I think that we're only going to see this season Amy and Rory and the Doctor and River.
I wonder what they're going to do with the River song. Are they going to go back over these so-called adventures you mentioned in the book with the Doctor?
Well, they could do that, but don't forget, too, this is time travel. So there is a possibility that the Doctor is encountering River after the library.
Mm-hmm.
Because... if she could find a way to travel through time by, getting vortex manipulators, and she could find a way to, if she could find a way to break fixed points and save the Doctor, then more than likely she's going to be living well beyond her, she could just be downloaded from the Matrix in the library and come back into her body. I mean, they could even use the nanogenes that Stephen Moffat introduced in the Doctor Dances and the Empty Child that healed all those people that they had the gas masks on. Remember that? Yeah. They could just heal her body with that and then download her back to her body.
I would love to know how Anthony Amy's master came back in Planet of Fire from being burned to a crisp. Maybe that was an nanogenes as well. Who knows?
Well, actually...
Yeah, but so too, the master... Oh, I'm sorry, get Andrew.
Okay, I'm sorry, Matrix Lord, or Joseph. Well, your name is Joseph, I'll just call you that. Joseph, I'm sorry, but that's just not Stephen Moffat. He jumps around, he throws ideas, coming up with something new, and that's really not what the audience wants. The audience wants something stable, something they're used to, and something they're able to make predictions about. When he threw in the Tesselector in Season 6, that just screwed up Season 6. I mean, it was going great, but there wasn't any deep... Well, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, my whole thing when I made my videos was that Doctor Who is unstable right now. Because when you keep... you need stability in Doctor Who, and that's what I made with my videos. Because if you keep switching the start date, if you keep switching a full season to a half a season, to a split season, to carrying over into other years, you're confusing the living crap out of the fans. And then
you're forgetting about Michael Grade. Michael Grade, what he did in 89 is exactly what Danny Cohen is doing now. He's trying to dumb down Doctor Who so people lose interest, so it gets shelved.
I love Stephen Moffat's writing. I love all his stories before he took over.
That's why put together for people to put them together and understand.
But you've got to understand that Stephen Moffat does not rule Doctor Who. He has to still have a boss above him that tells him what he can and can't do.
But he's fully going to take advantage of whatever's thrown at him. Like, if they tell him, okay, we're going to split the season, then he's going to write around it, and he's going to explain in his writing, a storyline that will fit a split season. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we believe that we know how Stephen Moffat writes. We believe, but then he throws different things at us to throw us totally off guard.
I've never ever known Doctor Who be split until when it came for the Waters of Mars. And that one before that, I don't know. It was a terrible idea. It was only done so that David Tennant could play Hamlet somewhere.
Right. But the thing is, Stephen Moffat, like I said, he's absolute genius in a way that he throws things in the episodes that you still find later on. You could watch 11th Hour 11, 12, 13 times, and every single time you watch it, you find something new, which makes it exciting for the YouTube community because people are making videos about how wonderful his episodes are in that sense. Because like he'll throw stuff in like Silence of the Library and The Forest of the Dead, and you'll look at that and you're like, wait a minute, this guy called Dr. Moon. You know, he looks a lot like he acting like The Silence, where like he made Donna forget, and also, you know, I mean, they tried a lot of different things.
Oh, you're right there. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Even the amount of people that was saved was the exact date that the doctor died. 422. They saved 4,022 people, and also the doctor died. His death date was 422.
Hang on. Wait a minute, you haven't told me this before. So the amount of people that died
was saved, the amount of people that was saved in the library was 4,000, I think, and 22.
4,022.
And that was
the
his
exact date when
April 22nd, right. Also, Dr. Moon made Donna forget when he wanted to. And it was exactly like what we see with The Silence, where, you know, they look away and they don't remember.
All I've got to ask is, when are you going to fuck over to the BBC and tell them, you know, to bloody well...
shove it.
And you, I mean, seriously, because you have got the perception that's needed.
I mean, I was going to say...
Even Day of the Moon. If you notice Day of the Moon, I mean, they had to throw that... Yeah, I'm sorry, get Andrew. We're talking, but get Andrew. You can talk.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I just wanted to remind you guys that the silent species, you're talking about it like it's a species group of...
A religious sect.
Yeah, and so I think that, well, actually, it's pretty obvious that every single member of the Silence has a way of erasing someone's memory.
Well, which means that they could be some kind of Time Lords or whatever. They've got to... If they can flipping erase the Doctor's memory, they've got to have some kind of intelligence. And they've got a TARDIS as well. They've got a TARDIS as well, haven't they? That flipping thing, as it appeared again.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing with the Silence being a religious sect. They could, like, meaning they're not a species, or they were created by someone else. Obviously, they weren't naturally like a natural species. They work for someone. Very well be connected to Silence of the Library and Forest of the Dead because they could be constructs by, you know, they got the Dr. Moon could actually be a live person that created the Silence, and with the title Silence of the Library.
Day of the Moon. Day of the Moon.
Yes.
Even though it was 1960 something, it didn't make sense. They should have.
Yeah, I think that's. I think that all Stephen Moffat's episodes are backwards compatible and they're connected.
I think he's trying to be a George Lucas, isn't
he? Yeah.
I think George Lucas was an Aspie anyway, and he looked a lot of Doctor Who. Because is it what is that flipping thing that looks like a Dalek in Star Wars?
Wait, I know this. He invented R2-D2.
R2-D2 looks freaking much like a Dalek.
Except he's a good guy.
I honestly think that, George Lucas.
Well, I mean, he some names like Klaatu, Varad, and Niktu for some of the characters, but everybody, when they write, I guess they reflect on what they remember when they were a child, and they probably like imitating art or something. It probably all factors in.
He's a mentor though, isn't he? Fucking George Lucas. Now it's got this amazing. He edited Star Wars and it was shit, so he got his bit, and that's the person that actually edited it together perfectly. He had an idea how it would look. Everyone said, "Oh God, that's shit." If you ever seen, the story here. So his girlfriend at the time, I don't think he's with her now, re-edited it because she was an editor, and that is what you actually saw on the screen for the first episode.
I would like to hear what Andrew has to think. What he thinks of series 5, 6, all Stephen Moffat's reign. What does he feel like? What does he like about series 5 and 6? What does he not like?
Well, actually, I think that season 5 was probably the best season that Doctor Who has seen in a very long time. I mean, David Tennant was good, but he had... Well, actually, you know what? I'm not even going to criticize David Tennant because he's just, he's David Tennant. But, I think that you could tell by season 6 that Stephen was starting...
Okay. Let me tell you something, right? I'm going to tell you something about Stephen Moffat right now.
What is it?
I don't think he has Doctor Who's interest at his heart. I think he's more for Sherlock and production to do with... He literally wants to make the show very Americanized.
Well, that's what he did.
I think that's a bad move, because everything in Britain has been eradicated and has been replaced by foreign entities. Not saying you're foreign, because we're the mother country, you're the cousins, so to speak.
Well,
but literally everything in Doctor Who, everything in Britain, I mean, has been totally obliterated, has been replaced by foreign people. And Doctor Who is the only thing that stands in the UK that we can honestly be proud of.
It's original sci-fi for Britain.
And already, Stephen Moffat is trying to make it Americanized.
The only the problem with that is they spend so much money to advertise in America, but then they fall short because you go like 9 months without Doctor Who. So why spend all that money for advertising if people are gonna forget what it is?
I'll tell you why. Because it's a sign of desperation. Steven is running out of ideas, so he decided that this change of scenery would be good, since everything around him was changing. And this is the this is the proof that Stephen Moffat is running out of ideas. Yeah.
Andrew.
What?
Stephen Moffat has been looking at me and Mark for some time. All the ideas of both of us to pull together is brought into his show. Because he knows damn well that the best people that know how Doctor Who should be run are the fans. Oh yeah, Amiga oil, but he'll probably bring that in, some woman with some Amiga oil anyway. Yeah. I must admit, Andrew, I've got to say this before Joseph intercedes, which is something that I think the Master said once, but beside the point. You made a video saying that, you're quite upset about me not wanting to talk to anyone under the age of 18.
Oh, yes.
But there's so much... If the authorities were okay with me talking to under the age of 18... You know what I mean?
I don't agree with it.
In line, that is what is like George Orwell's 1984. The minute you talk to someone under 18, you must be some kind of pervert or whatever, right? Do you know what I mean?
A lot of this comes from me because I've got 3 daughters. In Beth's just not long ago on 18, Kat's 15, coming up. And I know when Beth was young, I'd wonder what she's doing, who she's talking to, when and what. And if I don't care if she talked with Doctor Who, Charm, whatever, I'd have grabbed her by the neck and swung across the room, then grabbed whoever it was, wherever they were.
I've probably spoken to the police
about it. I'm speaking as a parent, really. Sorry, but if someone spoke to my child and they went, I don't care if you wear you, I'd kill you.
I would feel exactly the same way with my boys.
Sorry?
Guys, I have a confession. I have recorded this entire conversation, and I want your permission to put it on YouTube. And if you don't give me permission, I'll just delete it.
Go on, play on YouTube then, I don't care.
Okay, Ian Never signing out.